$789 for a Steam Deck. Or, if you want, you can pay $949 for the 1 terabyte model. Yes, people, we have entered the twilight zone. I mean, you could make a video every day on how prices in the gaming industry have skyrocketed, whether it's with video games or certain physical games are more expensive than the digital versions, or now you can talk about the Steam Deck, which it's funny because just last year, the Steam Deck, the LCD version, was on sale for $310 here in America, which a lot of people thought, you know what, compared to the prices of the Xbox Series systems, the PlayStation 5, even the Nintendo Switch 2, $310 for a Steam Deck sounded like a pretty good deal for the LCD version. And you could play a whole ton of games on that thing. And it's funny how now Valve is turning, I don't want to say turning into the bad guy, but I guess they don't really have a choice. I'm sure they don't really want to do this, but it just seems kind of strange that they had to raise the price by that much. I mean, we're talking hundreds of dollars. It's like, what is going on over at Valve where they think that people are going to pay that much money for a Steam Deck at this point? It's not like this is a brand new product. The Steam Deck has been out for years now. So it's like, why is somebody going to pay almost $800 for the Steam Deck OLED 512 gigabyte model? I don't know who in the world would buy that. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. And then on top of that, remember, they haven't released the Steam Machine yet, which, by the way, this whole anticipating the release of the Steam Machine thing is one of the funniest things in gaming, because they announced the Steam Machine to great fanfare because people were like, oh, this is cool. This could compete with consoles. And then not too long after the reveal, people started wondering, well, how much is this going to be in terms of price? And and then I think Linus Tech Tips probably said something along the lines of it's probably going to be near a PC price. And that's when people were like, oh, so this is not going to be like competing with the console space. This is going to compete with the gaming PCs. And that kind of let people down. But still, nobody really knew the price. But see, now with Valve raising the prices of the Steam Decks to astronomically high prices, that makes you think that that Steam Machine, it has to be more expensive than at least the $789 Steam Deck OLED 512 gigabyte model. It's got to be more than that, right? It has to be. And if it's more than that, there's no way I'm ever buying that. And I think a lot of people would say the exact same thing. Who in the world is going to buy a Steam Machine for more than $800? That's crazy, because people who are PC gamers, I'm not one of those people, but they would tell you, you can, make your own PC or get your own, gaming laptop for somewhere near that anyway. So what is the point of getting the Steam Machine? It's like, I don't know, guys. It's crazy, because this is the first year where I'm looking at the prices of games and like I'm totally not cool with anything that's going on. And I'm reluctant to buy games that I actually want to play. And this is the first year where I'm really like stopping before I purchase things. Like, for example, James Bond 007 First Light. That game, I want to play that game. I like the James Bond character. I like James Bond video games, and I wanted to play that game. But there's no way I'm paying $70 for that game. Even if it's really good, I'm still not paying $70. I mean, if I'm paying $70 for a game, it better be one of the best games of the entire generation. It better be. It has to be on that level for me to pay that kind of money. It's got to be one of the greatest games ever made. That's me. I mean, everybody's different. Can I afford to buy First Light? Yes, I can afford it, but I just feel dumb for buying a game like that for $70, because in my opinion, like, the video game like that is not $70 worth of value. It's not to me. These days I'm more interested in the games that are coming out brand new for very affordable prices. Like, for example, Mouse PI for Hire. It's a first-person shooter game that came out not too long ago. I bought that game. You know why? It was $30. And it looked very interesting, and I was intrigued by it, and I wanted to play it. So, if it was $70, would I have bought it? No, no. But when they announced that it's only going to be $30, I'm like, well, they piqued my interest, and they gave me a price point that I can work with. Okay, $30 for a video game that looks a lot like a lot of fun. Yeah, okay, I'm on board. So I bought that game day one. There is a video game coming out pretty soon called NBA The Run, which is an arcade-style basketball game, kind of like NBA Street, for those of you who remember those games. Like, I had NBA Street for the GameCube many, many years ago. Loved that game, played it all the time. I knew all the cheat codes. I unlocked everything in the game. I love that game. One of my favorite sports games ever made, NBA Street, the original. And a lot of people like Volume 2 as well. I think that's even more popular than the original. So I'm really excited about this game, but in my mind, up until, recently, I was like, well, if it's $70, I'm not buying it. It's like, as much as I want it, I don't want to buy it. Turns out this game's only going to be $30. Can you believe that? And like an arcade style basketball game made by some of the people who were involved with the NBA Street series, coming out for $30. So I'm going to buy that game. But back to the Steam Deck. It's like, the Steam Deck was always something that people thought was a pretty good deal, especially when it was on sale last year for $310. It's because it's like you can have access to all these titles that, if you're a console player, like if I have an Xbox Series X, right? Oh, and I have that. It's just, can I play, God of War on there? No, I can't. Not without, messing with it. But if you have a Steam Deck, you can play games like Ghost of Tsushima. I can't play Ghost of Tsushima on my Xbox Series X. And I think you can play God of War on the Steam Deck as well. So you can install emulators on there and all sorts of all sorts of stuff. So people were always very high on the Steam Deck. People were always high on Steam as well, because people say that Steam has sales all the time. The prices are more affordable. The way the storefront works and is great, and you always hear positive things from some of the most prominent gamers that Steam's great. Valve did a great job with the Steam store, and it's good for gamers because there's discounted games all the time. But now, Valve's raising their prices on the Steam Deck, so if you don't have a Steam Deck already, you're probably not going to get one now, and you're probably not going to get a Steam machine because it's going to be too expensive. And even if they come out with a Steam Deck 2, how much is that thing going to be? If the original is $789 or whatever, what is the Steam Deck 2 going to be? Is it going to be $1,000? Just like that Xbox ROG Ally X, which again, that's $1,000. It's like, I'm saying no to all of that stuff, and you should too.